श्री श्री राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मरन मोहन जू की जय। नित्य लीला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जय। नित्य लीला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। नित्य लीला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। नितिल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टतर शत शिशुमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। नितिल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टतर शत शिशुमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्य प्रविष्ट महाभागवत श्री गौरकिशोरदास बाबाजी महाराज की जय। नित्य प्रविष्ट श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। नित्य प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जय। श्री रूपनु गौरिया गुरु वर्ग की जय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शार गोसाई प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय। नाम चय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौरमंडल ब्रजमंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट विरत गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंद श्याम कुंद की जय। श्री मुन देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योगमाया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री निताय श्री कार्तिक व्रत की जय। उर्ज व्रत की जय। उर्जेश्वरी श्री वृषभानुनंदिनी श्रीमती राधा ठाकुरानी की जय। श्री राधा दामोदर जू की जय। What am I doing? Oh. श्री ब्रजमंडल परिक्रमा की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जना शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय राधिकाय प्रियात्मने श्रीश्रीमद्भक्तिवेदान्त नारायणीति नामिने। नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनेति नामिने। अवाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिषे नमः। Oh, actually, let's do this one now. Angashamalima chatabhiravito mandikritindivaram jadyam jagururochisham vidadatang pattam bharasya shriya vrindaranya vilasinam hridilasar damabhiramodaram radhaskandha niveshito jvalabhujam ध्यायेम दामोदरं ध्यायेम दामोदरं। गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तरभक्ताय नमो नमः। यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतमपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरहकातर आजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवो विनेदुस्तं सर्वभूत हृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भगवत सेवया Bhagavatyuttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki tavai vasmi na jivami tvaya vina iti vigyaya radhe tvang nayamang charanantikam bhaktya vihina aparadha lakshay Kshiptastakama dittaranga madhe Kripa maitvam sharanam prapana vrinte namaste charanarvindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Let's see all who's there. 1 second. There. Haribo, Sudevi Didi, Dandavat Pranam. Sudevi Didi, will you be coming for to Vrindavan for Karthik? And Madhavi Didi, Dandavat Pranam, Raseshwari Mataji, Haribo, Indira Mataji, Bhavatarani Mataji, and Nri Hari Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, Gargaraj Ji, Champak Didi, Haribol, everybody. Hare Krishna. All right, so we will continue now our Gopī-gīta reading. First, we'll sing the verses. I'll sing it a little more quickly this time, though. Gopya ucho jayati te dikam janmana vraja shayata indira shashvaratrahi taita drishyata dikshutavakas tvaidrita savas Twang vichinvate Sharadudashaye Sadhujata Sat Sarasi Jodara Shri Mushadrisha Suratanatate Shulkadasika Varadagniknato Nehakim Vada Vishajalapyayat Vyalarakshasat Varshamarutad Vaidyutanalat Vrishamayatmajat Vishvato Bhayar Rishabhate Vayam Rakshita Moho Nakhalu Gopika Nandana Bhavan Akila Dehi Nam Antaratma Dre Vikana Sartito Vishwaguptaye Sakhayu Devan Sattvatam Kule Virachita Bhaya Avrishni Duryate Charanami Yusham Sangsriter Bhayat Karasaroruha Kanta Kamadam Shirasi Dehina Shikara Graham Vraja Janartihan avirayoshitam nija jana smaya dvangsana smita bhaja sakhe bhavat kinkare smano jalaruhanana charuda charudashaya pranata dehina apapakashana trina charanuga Sriniketana Pani panarpita te padam bhujam krinukuche shuna krindhi chaya madhuraya gira valgovakyaya buddhamanogyaya pushkare kshana vidhir kaririva ima viryamoyatir adhara sindhuna pyayaya svana. I'll just read from this verse, this previous verse. O lotus-eyed one, we are bewildered by your sweet voice and enchanting words, which capture the minds of the clever. Which capture the minds of clever Rasik scholars. O hero, we are your maidservants. Please restore our lives with the divine ambrosia of your lips. Tava katamrita tapta jivana kavibhiridita kalmashapaha Shravanamangala Śrīmaratata Bhuvi Grinati Je Bhurida Jana. Ambrosial narrations about you are the life and soul of those by separation from you. Greatly learned devotees such as Brahma, Shiva, and the four Kumaras sing of them. These narrations vanquish the distress of fructified, prarabdha, and unfructified, aprarabdha sins. Simply hearing them bestows auspiciousness, and they bestow the wealth of prema. Persons who glorify your pastimes expands the nectar of narrations about you. Therefore, that person who performs kirtan of your lila katha in this world is the most generous benefactor. Now I'll read from this translation here also. This will have a more long translation, I think. One second, I'm just seeing. Okay, great. We'll see you there then. Cool. Haribo Prajumna Prabhu and Mantramurti Mataji. Yes, I hope to meet you there too. Meet you here, I mean. All right, so let's. Okay. Narrations of your pastimes overflow with nectar. Such life-giving descriptions constitutes the only wealth in the otherwise bleak existence of those suffering in separation. Throughout the ages, your devoted poets such as Brahma, Shiva, and the four Kumaras repeatedly sing out your glories. These narrations, bestowing auspiciousness upon their listeners, vanquish the distress resulting from all their past sins and bestow the wealth of prema. Those who broadcast your transcendental activities are truly the greatest benefactors in the world. Srila Śrīdhara Swamipad's Bhāvārtha Dīpikā. The Gopīs speak. In separation from you, we are close to dying. But pious persons told us ambrosial stories about you, and thus cheated us from dying. Well, let me reread that. Sorry. In separation from you, we were close to dying, but pious persons told us ambrosial stories about you, and thus cheated us from dying. This is explained in the verse Tava Katamritam. Sorry. Katamritam means that the narrations of Krishna's pastimes are amrita. They are full of nectar. Tapta Jivanam. This is so because they rejuvenate souls who are burning in your absence. Its power far exceeds the famous heavenly nectar. Kavibir, therefore, all those who perceive the absolute truth, the Brahmagyas, glorify it, knowing celestial nectar to be inferior. Kalmashapaham. Tales of your deeds root out material desires and auspicious and inauspicious results arising from fruitive activities such as giving charity. The nectar of paradise is devoid of such virtues. Instead, it intensifies material desire. Narrations of your life are also Shravana Mangal, bestowing auspiciousness to those who merely hear them. Thus, one need not observe any rituals to relish the nectar of your katha, but to drink celestial nectar, one must undergo some prescribed procedure. The nectar of discussions about you is exquisitely charming and soothing, Srimad, whereas celestial nectar arouses a drunken state. How is it possible to compare a piece of glass to a precious jewel? Those who spend on earth, those who spread on earth this katamrita by describing your pastimes, actually bestow the most precious gift, burida. They give life to those who hear it. In the last line of the verse, it can be interpreted in this way. Those who spread the nectar of narrations about your pastimes must have performed many pious activities in their past lives. The Gopis conclude, when even those who spread the nectar of your katha are so fortunate, then what to speak of those who directly behold you? Therefore, we pray, please appear before us. Śrīla Jīva Gosvāmī Pad's Vaiṣṇava Toṣaṇī. Suspecting that Krishna may ask them, without getting the nectar of my lips, how is it that you are still alive? The Gopis attribute the glory of their discussing his pastimes as the reason. Their own pleasing experience stands as evidence of this glory. There's a footnote here. It says the Gopis have heard from the sages that the nectar of heaven is supremely sweet, but it comes to an end. And the nectar in the form of liberation stops material sufferings and gives no experience of bliss. But hearing and glorifying the nectar of Sri Krishna's katha, one relishes the supreme sweet mellow which never ends. By hearing that katha, one experiences the nectar of Krishna's beauty, attributes, and pastimes in full. And this is what the Gopis have realized. Tava katamritam. Narrations of your pastimes are indeed nectar, and because of their great power, we are still alive. A question may arise. How is it like Amrita? The Gopis reply, discussions about you are just like nectar, because Harikatha itself is the goal, having value on its own, and is also the means to achieve other goals. In other words, many people seek the demigod's Amrita because it is full of flavor. It simultaneously removes disease and discrepancies as it nourishes and gives strength. Similarly, just by hearing Krishna Kathamrita, one achieves the supreme goal, Krishna Prem. And as a side effect, it saves one from lust, anger, etc., and all other material calamities, such as fainting due to some disease or sudden death. Furthermore, it is the sadhan to attain other fruits, and is itself also the destination. To prove the statement, the Gopis are saying, this Katamrita gives life to suffering persons. It is praised by the poets. It eradicates all kinds of sins. It bestows auspiciousness just by hearing. It is most excellent, and it is famous throughout the whole world. Tapta Jivanam. The Gopis illustrate the life life-giving quality of this katha. It enlivens miserable persons. It saves from death those who suffer in the fire of separation. Then what to speak of those who suffer in the material world? The gopis confirm that this nectarian katha is the life even for great personalities like Brahma, who, standing on the side of the path, offer their respects to Krishna's lotus feet when he returns with the cows at the end of the day. Vandyamana Charana Pati Vridhai. That's Srimad Bhagavatam 10:35-22. When Krishna places the flute on his lips and plays a sweet melody, Indra, Shiva, Brahma, and other demigods faint out of bliss. Hearing the high and low trills of that flute melody, the demigods, though they are the most knowledgeable sages, are unable to comprehend its structure and, dumbstruck, they bow their heads. That's Srimad Bhagavatam 10:35-15. Kavibir Iritam. Great poets like Brahma, Shiva, the four Kumaras, and other self-realized souls, Atmaramas, glorify these ambrosial narrations. The word irita, described, has originated from the union of the verbal root id and the suffix ta. This suffix indicates the present tense. Therefore, the meaning is, great scholars glorify your Katamrita by simply repeating the words of us Rajvasis. They are unable to praise it with their own words because your confidential pastimes remain hidden from them. Kalamashapaham. The nectar of talks about you is so powerful that there is no one who would not like it. By its power, everyone acquires taste, ruchi, for it. Facing some impediments in stimulating taste, this nectar destroys not only the result of pious and sinful material activity, but even the result of offense to itself. Thus it arouses taste for hearing the katha. Shravana Mangalam. Because of the power of this katha, if one just hears it and does not even understand the meaning, his whole life becomes auspicious. That is, he attains the supreme goal, Krishna Prem. And if someone knows the meaning of this katha, what can we say about them? This nectar of katha is Shrimat. It is sublimely beautiful. Attatam. It is all pervading because everyone speaks your glories everywhere. For this alone, it exceeds the fame of celestial nectar, which, being limited by nature, is not available for everyone, and thus becomes the cause of war between the demigods and demons. Your nectar, on the other hand, is infinite, and its benefits are available to everyone. Those who speak about you to others are the most magnanimous persons on earth. Especially when such persons shower this nectar on Gokul, they revive our lives when we are burning in separation from you. Therefore, Brahma and other devotees of Krishna distribute the nectar of Krishna's pastimes throughout the world outside of Vraj. In Vraj, all the Vrajvasis sing about Krishna, but it should be understood that the maidens of Vraj hear such narrations from their Sakis. This means all the Sakis are Buddhidha. Alternative meaning. Fearing that Krishna may say, "Oh, distraught gopis, why don't you spend time relishing the nectar of such narrations until I fulfill your desire?" They reply, "Narrations about you are like death for us. They kill us." Krishna may ask, "How is that possible?" The gopis answer, "Tapta jivanam." They burn our life airs because when we hear those narrations, the fire of separation increases millions of times over. Thus, they become the cause of our death. The inner meaning is this. Narrations about you produce the same effect. Narrations about you produce the same effect on us as drops of water that sizzle when they fall on boiling oil. They only increase our suffering. In the same way, we gopis are like oil boiling in separation from you. When a drop of katamrita goes into our ear, instead of cooling us, it sputters and evaporates and greatly increases the heat of separation. One second. Kalmashapaham. Only poets who are your devotees praise such narrations for their ability. Sorry, only poets who are your devotees praise such narrations for their ability to destroy sin, not others. Also, we were told that hearing about your activities bestows all kinds of auspiciousness, but we never had such an experience ourselves. Srimad Atatam. Because your katha is very beautiful, Shri, the words describing you have developed pride, mud. Maddened by their own beauty, they are disrespecting us, your own people, and spurred by their pride, are spreading everywhere. Atatam. Thus, your katha is like death, and those who narrate them are burida. They are destroyers, they're the destroyers of life, buri. The gopis speak in this way only out of great pain of separation. They conclude, and the hope that you will come, we want to remain alive for a few more seconds. Therefore, we do not want those narrations to kill us. Srila Viśvanātha Cakravartī Thakur's Sārārtha Darśinī. In the previous verse, the gopis describe the glories of the honeyed words flowing out of Sri Krishna's mouth. Now they say, O Krishna, who can possibly describe the glorious sweetness of the words flowing from your mouth? No one, because it is beyond description. Even when sung by virtuous persons, the nectar of narrations about your name, beauty, qualities, etc., exceeds the taste of the well-known heavenly ambrosia and the nectar of liberation. With this intention, the gopis speak this verse, Tava Katamritam. Krishna may ask, why are they compared to nectar? The gopis explain, Tapta Jivanam. Narrations about you rejuvenate those who suffer from severe diseases and from existence in the material world. Furthermore, they give life to those who pine in separation from you. Therefore, discussions about you are pure nectar that far surpasses celestial nectar and the nectar of liberation. Kavibhir irditam. Great poets like Prahlad and Dhruva glorify the nectar of your katha. O Lord, upon hearing about your transcendental pastimes, souls experience great bliss. One cannot experience such bliss even upon realizing Brahma. Then what can I say about the temporary enjoyment in paradise, which is slated to be slashed by the sword of time, causing one to fall back down to the world of death? That's Srimad Bhagavatam 4, 9, 10. It is not found anywhere that celestial nectar and the nectar of liberation are glorified in this way. Thus, according to the conclusion of the poets, they cannot be considered relishable. Kalmashapaham. The nectar of tales about you destroys the results of sinful activities from previous lives. Celestial nectar, on the other hand, does not have this power. Instead, it increases passion and in this way causes men to sin even more. The nectar of liberation also does not destroy sinful reactions. Shravana Mangalam. The nectar of your katha is extremely tasteful. It fulfills desires and brings auspiciousness to those who chance to hear it. Every moment, these narrations are retold, atatam, by your devotees, thus bestowing even the wealth, the shrimat of prem. The other two types of nectar do not have such qualities. Bhuvi granantiye bhuri da jana. Those who speak or glorify this katha are the only true benefactors. They are the only bhurida of the world. Even if one offers them everything he has, still he cannot repay such persons. There's another meaning in these words. Narrations about you are sweet only when you are present nearby. Otherwise, they cause great disturbance. Katha about you brings on death, mritam. Krishna asks, how is that? The gopis reply, Tapta Jivanam. It burns up our life airs. Another meaning. This katha makes us feel like just a drop of water falling in boiling oil. Hearing your katha while burning in separation from you simply increases our suffering. Krishna asks, why then do the Puranas and other scriptures praise that Kathamrita so much? The gopis reply, Kavibir irditam. Great poets like Vyasadeva glorify your pastimes because it is the nature of poets to do so. They are very expert in inventing stories and exaggerating the subject. One cannot trust such eulogies presented by the poets. This is the meaning. Kalmashapaham. By hearing narrations about you, one experiences the great misery of separation in which all of one's previous sins and offenses are destroyed. Here the gopis speak with irony. Shravana Mangalam. It is auspicious for ordinary people to hear narrations about you. Thus, these stories will continue to be spoken. But if intelligent persons, considering the suffering which results from hearing such narrations, if they cease to listen to them. Oh wait, let me reread that. But if intelligent persons, considering suffering which results from hearing such narrations, cease to listen to them, then certainly recitation of these topics will stop. Rich and evil men, intoxicated and blinded by their wealth, want everyone on earth to die. Therefore, they hire speakers of the scriptures and order them to tell stories about you in every town and village. In this way, those who speak about you they kill their audience. They spread the trap of kata, and appearing to be very gentle, they sit down in front of their audiences and proceed to kill masses of people. Therefore, they are even more sinful than hunters who merely kill a few animals. Intelligent persons will certainly avoid such speakers. Genocide. Srimad Bhagavatam confirms this point in verse 10:47-18. Yad anucharita lila karna piyusha viprut sakre dadana viduta dvanda dharma vinashta saparigraha kutumbam dena mutsre jadena bahava iha vihanga bhikshu charyam charanti. Those who have relished with their ears one drop of nectarian narrations of Krishna's pastimes give up all dualities of material life. They leave their homes and come to Vrindavan, wandering about as humble beggars. The Gopis' criticism of narrations about Krishna is but a reflection of their inner fire of separation. In truth, they praise the Katha and its speakers. Just checking the comments. Okay, everything looks good. Prahasitang priya prema vikshanam viharanam chate dhyanamangala rahasi sangvido yahrede srisha kuhakano mana shobayanti. O darling beloved, we were immersed in blissfully remembering your special smiles, the loving looks in your eyes, the intimate exchanges and heart-touching conversations that we enjoyed with you in a secluded place. Such meditation bestows supreme joy. O treacherous friend, now remembering those times with you troubles our hearts. Śrīla Śrīdhara Swamipad's Bhāvārtha Dīpikā. Krishna may say, if all you say is true, then you can attain peace just by listening to Katha about me, and there is no need for me to appear before you. The gopis reply with this verse, Prahasitam. Our minds are already agitated, remembering all the pastimes we enjoyed with you. We cannot be pacified simply by hearing about them. they call out, "O beloved, O cheater." In this verse, the word Sangvida means playful, suggestive hints. Srila Jiva Goswami Pad's Vaiṣṇava Toṣaṇī. According to the first meaning, the gopis fear that Krishna may say, "You thoughtless ladies, why are you so deeply attached to me? I am beyond your reach. And nurturing great affection for me, why are you not pacified simply by hearing about me?" The gopis feel no satisfaction from listening to conversations about him, and in the following 3 verses, they criticize him for previously showing them great affection. According to the second meaning, the gopis say, "We cannot continue to live any longer just clinging to the hope of finding you." Indirectly, they mean to say, those who have never seen you and are not familiar with your unique, playful gestures will not be burning up in the hope to meet with you. And those who have not heard your sweet, loving words, such persons can be satisfied simply by hearing about you, and they can stay alive with the expectation of eventually attaining you. But we remember your hearty laugh, a glance full of love, the pastimes of roaming about with you, and the heart-touching messages you spoke in a secluded place. All these have made us anxious and bound our hearts with the hope of meeting you again. Now we cannot tolerate another moment without your darshan. This is how the gopis express their mood in this verse, prahasitam. First meaning of prahasitam. When you saw us, you were so delighted that you could not restrain from displaying a big smile and a hearty laugh. Krishna might ask, "What was that laugh like?" The gopis answer, "That laugh was accompanied by a glance full of love, ever changing and ever fresh. First, you gave us a very special smile. After that, you looked at us with intense passion. Seeing that, we abandoned our self-control, shyness, family considerations, fear, and all other constraints, and became the servants of your lotus feet. Thus, our lives achieved success. In this way, with your hearty laugh and loving glance, you used to make us mindless." Viharanam. Playing with your sakas of the same age. Krishna might ask, "What was special about those pastimes?" The gopis answer, "Dhyana mangalam. Meditating on them brings auspiciousness. Remembrance of such pastimes nourishes our hope to see you, because by your actions, you were expressing the desire to meet with us. When playing with your friends, you used to put your left hand on the shoulder of one saka while twirling a pastime lotus, a lila kamal, with your right hand. Seeing you displaying such captivating gestures, we used to get submerged in an inexplicable ocean of emotions. In this way, you disclosed your innermost intentions. The vision of those gestures in our hearts makes us desperate to meet with you. Rahasi Sangvidha. In a far-off, lonely place, you began to play on your flute, calling each one of us by name, and engaged in joking conversations, narmalap with us. Krishna might ask, "What kind of joking conversations?" The gopis answer, "They were heart-touching." This shows that out of all amorous activities, narmalap is the most intimate. The word ya, which, indicates something very astonishing. They say, "The joking words you spoke to us in a very lonely place were extremely wonderful and deeply touched our hearts." Ya hriday sprisha, which touch the heart. This applies to all the words preceding ya. Prahasitang, prema vikshanam, viharanam, and rahasi samvida. All those are ya hriday sprisha. They all touch the heart. Each subsequent action is better than the previous one, all of them touching the heart. So prahasitam, what's that? Must mean the smiling, like the laughing or smiling, I'm guessing. And then prema vikshanam, that's your loving glances. Viharanam would be your reveling in, I don't know, lila, like that's it, right? Or also viharana means strolling about, doesn't it? Sorry, I'm making sure that's comfortable. Rahasi Samvida is speaking to you. It's like in a confidential manner, right? Sorry, I'll stop. um, by calling Krishna Kuhaka, a cheat, the gopis mean to say, your sweet smile and other endearing actions end up bringing misery. Your intention is simply to cheat. Only an outrageous rogue like you can do this. This is the mood. The gopis use the word na, us, and plural number to emphasize. This is our experience. All of us testify to this. Your gentle smile, your sidelong glances requesting to meet with us, your suggestive words, all of these ever fresh and novel, cause us great disturbance and agitation. Indeed, certainly these are agitating us. The gopis are affirming the reason for their unrest. Priya means one who tempts. You are our only beloved, and you are always enticing our minds. As we love you alone, our minds are always uneasy, and we are always unhappy. This time, again, you are deceiving us. With this intention, they address him as Kuhaka, O cheater. Śrīla Viśvanātha Cakravartī Thakur's Sārārtha Darśinī. The gopis say, when you are out of our sight, we get no satisfaction, and everything that reminds us of you gives us great pain. They express this in the verse beginning Prahasitam. Hey Priya, your sweet gentle smile, your loving glances, your amorous meetings with us, Vihara Samprayoga, your pleasant conversations, Samvida, in a secluded place, all of these enter deep in our hearts. Now remembering all of these in your absence causes us tremendous grief. We wish we could forget them, but we cannot. Okay, Rahasi Samvida means pleasant the conversations in Rahasi in a secluded place. Dhyana Mangalam. It is said that remembering these four kinds of exchanges with us brings auspiciousness and bliss, but in truth, it only disturbs our minds. At first, your actions, your gentle smile, your loving glance, roaming around the forest with you, and intimately chatting in private, make us feel happy. But shortly thereafter, they submerge us in an ocean of misery. Therefore, you are a cheater. The poisonous, spicy fritters fed by a swindler are initially very tasty and give pleasure, but soon they start burning the victim and finally kill him. Verse 11. Haribo Rukmini Didi, Dandavat Pranam. Chalasiyar Vrajaj Charayan Pashun Nalina Sundaram Natate Padam Śrīla Trinam Kurai Siddhati Tina Kalilatam Mana Kanta Gacchati. Hey Nath, hey Kanta, O beloved master, your lovely lotus feet are softer than a lotus. When you leave Vraj to take the cows out for grazing, your lotus feet suffer great pain from dry husks, sharp pebbles, and spikes of grass. Thinking about this makes our minds uneasy. This is very similar to the last verse of Gopī-gīta, Yate Sujata Charanam Buru Staneshu. Śrīla Swāmīpad's Bhāvārtha Dīpikā. The gopis say, just look, our minds are melting with love for you. Why are you cheating us again? What is the purpose of such behavior? They express these feelings in this verse beginning with Chalasi and the next. Here the gopis say, Hey Nath, O Master, O Beloved, when you take the cows out to graze, your beautiful, gentle lotus feet are disturbed, poked by hard grains, sharp grass, and pointed sprouts. The thought of their suffering sets our minds off reeling. Thus we are harassed by the idea that you may be distressed. Śrīla Jīva Gosvāmī Pads Vaiṣṇava Toṣaṇī. The gopis express the following mood in the two verses, the first one beginning with Chalasi. It does not happen just occasionally that you bring us sorrow. Both meeting with you and separation from you are equally frustrating. Krishna might ask, how is it possible that I cause such misery? The gopis reply, Vrajad, from the time you leave Vraj to take the cows out for grazing until you return, we worry the whole time that you will be running here and there chasing after the cows, and your soft feet will be hurt by sharp grains, dry grasses, and sprouts. This statement shows that the gopis are truly anxious for Krishna's welfare. Pashun charayan. You take uncountable numbers of cows out for grazing. For that reason, you are bound to quit the road and wander from place to place. The inner meaning of their words is that animals have no intelligence. Therefore, without thinking, they will go to places that are troublesome for your lotus feet. Shilam. Shilam means sharp tips of forest grains that have fallen on the ground. Harivangsha 2.8.23 tells us, in a dense forest where sun rays cannot penetrate, the ground is covered with thorns. But this does not mean that all forest grounds will be ridden with thorns. Therefore, in this verse, the gopis have not mentioned thorns. The gopis lovingly address him in two ways. Hey Nath, O Master, you are the Lord of the Vrajvasis. So it's certainly, sorry, oh, there's a is missing. You are the Lord of the Vrajvasis. So it is certainly unacceptable that your feet should be so troubled. Hey Kanta, O beloved, your tender lotus feet should be touched only by our soft hands, not by sharp grains and dry grasses. This is the reason why we feel so utterly frustrated. There is another meaning. Being Nath, master of Vraj, all the inhabitants of Vraj are pained to see you suffering. But as you are our Kanta, we are more severely affected. The word Nath can be interpreted in still another way. Hey Nath, you who torture your close friends. The gopis propose that Krishna may say, O wise ladies, do not be anxious. Indeed, you should forget about any discomfort I may feel. They explain, Kanta, O lover, even a discerning person cannot help worrying for his dear ones. Therefore, we cannot stop worrying about your feet being afflicted. Kalilata. According to another meaning, the gopis imply by the word Nath, Hey Praneshwar, O Lord of our lives, if we did not love you, then we would not be affected by the pain coming to your feet. But as you are the master of our lives, whatever is painful to you, we, being your maidservants, will experience that same pain. The scriptures illustrates the ill effects of love as follows. Yavat kurute jantu sambandhan manasa priyan tavatosya nikanyante hridaye shoka shankava. The deeper one's relationship is with somebody, to that degree sorrow and fear pierce his heart. A nice verse. In the light of this verse, Krishna suggests to the gopis, if this is the case, then give up this love. Remove it from your hearts. The gopis answer, Mana kanta gachati. Oh beloved, what can we do? Even if we don't want to be disturbed, our minds are incontrollable. Fearing that you may encounter some mishap, we automatically become disheartened. Our love for you is so great that it overpowers our minds, robbing us of prudence and the ability to make any resolve. Fearing that Krishna may object, but your minds belong to you, the gopis explain. It is not the fault of our minds. O Manohar, O beloved who charms the mind, you are so attractive that you have stolen our minds. Thus they are with you and not with us. Ah, stop wandering in the forest and quickly come here. Give us your darshan and return our minds. This is the intended meaning. Srila Viśvanātha Chakravartī Thakur's Sārārtha Darśinī, and we'll end with this. The gopis say, "This is not the only time that you bring us anguish. Other times also, when you are in pain, you try to make us miserable as well." Therefore, they are speaking this verse, Chalasi. As soon as you take the cows out for grazing, we imagine how your feet, more beautiful and tender than lotus flowers, are wounded by grain spikes and sprouting grass, and our minds become racked with pain. Their words can be interpreted in a different way. Kali latam. Our minds are accustomed, lati, to arguing. Kali. Thus our minds, Thus our minds keep on quarreling with us. Here is an example of such an argument. O mind, if Krishna suffers from walking in the forest, then why does he leave Vraj to go to that forest every day? I think you panic in vain. The mind retorts, You brainless cowherd maidens, the soles of his feet are softer than land lotuses. They are grain spikes, grass shoots, twigs and stones in the forest. Don't you think that they will not hurt his feet? The gopis try to make the mind understand, saying, Silly mind, surely Krishna walks on the soft sandy paths. No need to worry. The charmed mind replies, Oh, unintelligent Vraja maidens, tell me, do the cows look for a soft path when searching for fresh grass? The gopis reply to the mind, Oh, you blinded by love, the cows have no discrimination and go anywhere, but Krishna has eyes. Why would he walk on hard grains and sharp grass? The mind retorts, Pity on you, who are devoid of even the smell of love. What happens if occasionally he perchance sets foot on such a sharp object? Now the gopis agree with the minds. Oh, brother minds, you are right. The Creator has given us life only to suffer this agony. The mind says, Oh, miserable ones, you can remain alive, but now, accompanied by your life heirs, I am going to abandon your bodies. Whoa, that was pretty neat. All right, so now it's 8:32, so we'll end here. But tomorrow we will read this verse. Just as the day is declining, you return from the forest. Then we see your face decorated by dark locks of hair and covered with a thick layer of dust raised by the cows. Our beloved hero. What? Anyways, whatever. Our beloved hero, you repeatedly impress us with your beauty and thus arouse in our hearts amorous and desire to enjoy with you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Yeah, when I was reading that time, it was kind of difficult for me to focus because this room was filled with 5 people are staying in this office now. So, but they're leaving tomorrow. So then it'll be just me and Srivas again, and I'll be less distracting. Oh, just one thing I wanted to mention, and then I'll do Jadvani. But if any of you would like to get this Gopī-gīta painting, it's one of my favorite paintings, all-time favorite paintings. It's my cousin Manjari, who's here. She's reading with us. She did this painting. You can find it on our website. I think it's Ṭhākura. What is it? Ṭhākura. Yeah, that is ṭhākuraniarts.com. See, and then here on the website, if you go here, yeah. Anyways, you can get it on this website. I can paste the link again on. I'll paste it in our group, and you can get a very. You can get a jicle, I think, right? So it almost looks like a real painting. It has the same like, and it's very bright, and yeah, sometimes it's difficult to tell what's a real painting and what's a jicle. So you can get that from Manjari. All right. Jai Shishi Guru Garanga Gandharvika Giridhari Shishi Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki Jai Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju ki Jai Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishimar Bhakti Viranta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Shila Gurudev ki Jai Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishimar Bhakti Viranta Vaman Goswami Maharaj ki Jai Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishimar Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj ki Jai Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai. Sorry, I got distracted. Let me focus. Sorry. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishmar Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai. Nitya Lila Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Srila Gorksharas Babaji Maharaj ki Jai. Nitya Lila Pravishta Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākura ki Jai. Nitya Lila Pravishta Vaiṣṇava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath. Shri Jīva Gopala Bhatta Darshagunath Shar Goswami Prabhu ki Jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki Jai. Namachay Shri Hairas Ṭhākura ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल ब्रज मंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जाय सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदत्त गिरिराज महाराज की जाय श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जाय श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जाय श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जाय श्री भक्ति देवी की जाय श्री पूर्णमासी योगमाय की जाय श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जाय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय श्री रासा-pañcādhyayī की जय सर्व व्रज देवी गण की जय रासेश्वरी श्री विश्वभानुनंदिनी श्रीमती राधा ठाकुरानी की जय श्री ब्रजेंद्र नंदन श्याम सुंदर श्री कृष्ण चंद्र की जय श्री कार्तिक व्रत की जय उर्ज व्रत की जय उर्जेश्वरी श्रीमती राधा रानी की जय श्री व्रजमंडल परिक्रमा की जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल वृंदाय तुलसी देवाय प्रियाय केशवाय च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रद देवी सत्यवताय नमो नमः वंशा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. There you go. So this painting was done under Gurudev's direction during Srila Gurudev's time, and it was used as the cover for his book Shri Rāsa-pañcādhyayī, his edition of Rāsa-pañcādhyayī. And so, yeah, you can see it's something I really love about this painting. I mean, one thing is the colors is just the but also there's space in it. Lots of times I see, especially with devotional paintings, lots of times they're like too they're very busy, and like every single inch there's something happening, and it's like really uh yeah, there's no space. But in this one, there's there's space in between everybody's. It looks like there's room for me in there. I don't know. It's one of my all-time favorite paintings, though, really. So you can get this on takuraniarts.com, and you can either get a G-clay and maybe also, yeah, see, there you can get. Is it possible to also get a print? Or only G-clay is available? I think only G-clay. But yeah, that's the best quality. It looks non-different from a real painting. And what was another thing? Oh, yeah, I just found out from Anita that we have to reprint the Vrajmanda Parikrama book. And sorry, I'm spaced out. We have to reprint Gopī-gīta. And so I might do a live proofreading of that book at random times of the day. So yeah, if you want to join that also, I'll just be, you can see I'll be going live at different times. Haribol from Milo Mataji. Haribol. Okay. Manjari just said the poster prints have sold out, so only the canvas prints are available now. But that's the best ones. So if you'd like for your house, you can get that on takuraniarts.com. All right, Dandavat pranams, everybody. See you all tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe. Rukmini Didi.